All right, this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is Chicago residents are outraged over the handling of the migrant surge. Disgrace. Guys, they've been completely outraged, bro. For the most part, pretty much figured that they were going to be turning red sometime soon. They still voted how, I think we all kind of expected them to vote, but a small percentage, a small minority, let's say, is definitely, in fact, changing the tide here. If you are, in fact, not happy with how things are being run, you need to change how, you elect people, let's say. Because you can't just continue to complain. You can't continue to complain and then still vote against your interest, okay? I think that's the reality in this situation here. But let's go and check this out immediately. Let's go and jump into it, guys.
And today, incoming border czar Tom Homan is set to meet with New York City Mayor Eric Adams to discuss how the incoming Trump administration plans to execute its deportation plans in the sanctuary city. But Homan also has his eyes on another sanctuary city, declaring Chicago ground zero for the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. And some Chicago residents seem to be ready for change.
Guys, really quickly, this is definitely going to work out a little bit better, I'd say, with the mayor of New York, because the mayor of New York is at least saying, we're sick of this, we need to do something about it. Anyone that will help us will definitely be welcomed, versus the mayor of Chicago, who is not very willing to, let's say, even talk business about getting some of the individuals that are here committing asylum fraud out of the United States of America.
Immigration crackdown, and some Chicago residents seem to be ready for change.
All right, let's go, guys.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, you took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Or when you took an oath, was it only intended to fight for the 10th and 14th Amendments regarding illegal aliens?
We don't want illegals in our community. We don't want migrants terrorizing our own people. And to have y'all sit up here and say, we have to accept $70 million being given to them when you got black people who are already struggling and need help, it is a disgrace.
Andre Smith is a former Democratic Illinois State House candidate and the founder of Chicago Against Violence. And he joins me now. Andre, good morning to you. So Tom Homan gave us a window into what to expect. He says come January 21st, there will be ICE agents in Chicago looking for gang members and criminals. If Mayor Brandon Johnson impedes those efforts, he will be prosecuted. How do you think residents in Chicago feel about that?
Well, good morning.
Will be prosecuted.
As Chicagoans, we should be celebrating the season of joy, hope, and love. Yet, under our tree, we find neglect, disappointment. We find $575 million of taxpayers' money allocated to migrants. We are disappointed. Our shelters, our schools, our police stations, our field houses have all became shelters. And we have went through this thing, and we welcome the border czar to Chicago.
Like, that would be absolutely great if you guys could, but the thing is that you'll need to get people that are slightly above, right, to basically accept this. And I don't think that Brandon Johnson is specifically going to, allow any of these things to happen. Now, they mentioned that he would be prosecuted. I think at most he'll probably be charged. All right, because the problem is that the governor is completely fine with what's actually happening in Illinois, I guess. And I think that's the big dilemma here. Again, this is a vocal minority, and this has nothing to do with if they have a D or an R in front of their name. It seems like America is absolutely coming together on two specific issues, guys: immigration and the economy. And if you are not trying to work on any of these things, then America is going to be basically against you. And it seems like Brandon Johnson is completely fine with, allowing the establishment to continue to run things. Basically, he's completely fine with it. I'm guessing he's going to be super rich when he leaves, right? But let's continue.
Yeah, and under Mayor Johnson, more than 51,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since 2022, and the city has actually spent $612 million on the crisis since May 2023. And that appears to be what angers residents the most, because that is taxpayer dollars. Interesting that Tom Homan is going to be meeting with New York City Mayor Eric Adams. I mean, talk about a reach across the aisle moment there. How do you feel about that?
It's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm excited, and I'm excited that the mayor decided to sit down with the border czar to fix this crisis. And we look for Mayor Brandon Johnson to also do the same, to cooperate. If he doesn't cooperate, then the residents are really willing to cooperate because Mayor Brandon Johnson is known not to cooperate even with his own residents that accidentally voted him in.
Yeah.
Right. Literally accidentally. When he got, I guess, elected in, for the most part, he sold himself as someone that was kind of for the people. But then as soon as he got in, I guess he smelt the money that the establishment has the ability to throw at him and just completely switched over immediately. This was, in fact, one of the worst things you in Chicago could have possibly done. Get him out immediately. Okay. Where I think we have recently spoke during this last, previous national election. No more establishment candidates running for anything. I don't care what party they're in, guys. All right, because the establishment is definitely on both sides of the aisle here, guys. All right, but let's continue.
Well, Tom Homan is getting a much different reaction from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker than he is to Eric Adams, who appears to be welcoming of him coming in and sitting down and talking. Take a listen to what J.B. Pritzker recently said about Tom Homan and the effort to deport illegal immigrants. Watch this.
I'm open to a dialogue with him. I will say that he does not have the authority to do the things that he's talked about. Being a border czar is not an official position in the government, and will be up to the President of the United States and up to the leaders of the Customs and Border Patrol to make decisions about how we'll manage the border.
So he's...
Yeah, but the problem is that Trump basically already said this. Like, you want a different type of answer or a different response here. Okay, border czar doesn't exist, the title. Okay, whatever. The problem here is that Trump said it exists, right? And he's saying that this is the guy, right, that's going to be handling any type of deportation and any type of immigration type of things, guys, right? So we know this. You know this. And the fact is that if you're not trying to do anything to help the country, bro, maybe it's time for you to go also, right? And this is, as I expected, the governor of Illinois is also not going to be down for it. So he's going to push back at every single turn. This is the reason why he's now not even acknowledging the wishes of the upcoming president. Basically, this is why he's doing this.
He says he's open to talking to him, but that's clearly where the pleasantries stop. I mean, it looks like it could be a showdown come January.
It will be.
What do you expect?
Look, we as Chicagoans, we deserve fairness, accountability.
Would be great.
Not burdens. We need solutions. So therefore, we're willing to sit down and especially, I challenge the border czar, just like I did, Fox when they came to Chicago, took them around to some shelters and things like that. I challenged the border czar to reach out. I stood in a tent overnight. I stopped the bus over at Wadsworth. I went to jail because I understand that, you cannot make illegal legal.
That's a good point. He cannot make illegal legal, even though it appears many people in your state of Illinois are trying to do just that. Andre Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
All right, if you can, okay. The statement is interesting. You cannot make illegal legal. I think he's right to a certain extent. Right, to a certain extent. The individuals that are here absolutely for like actual asylum or like refugee status, I'm not sure anyone should have an issue with that, guys. I mean, at all. But the ones who are here for economic migrancy, that's not asylum. And you're coming in claiming asylum. Okay. Yeah, it's time for you to go, guys. 80 to 90% are committing asylum fraud. So yeah, you cannot make those individuals legal. I think that should be by the definition, almost. Yes, but either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. This is my lightsaber. Hey guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, you're amazing.